Back at it again, Cigar Spencer. You know what time it is. It's time for the 2023 preseason top 10 offensive linemen of East Texas. The East Texas top 10 offensive linemen returning for the 2023 season. All 10 of these guys were all district last year. All played some varsity ball and are all really good football players. Probably the most well-critiqued spot on this list, like a spot that I really pay attention to. So if you're good and you make the list from an offensive line standpoint, that means you're a really elite player. It's tough to be an elite offensive lineman. It's a difficult game, especially at this age, unless you're one of those physically dominant, gifted athletes. But if you're not, it's kind of hard to shine on that O-line, especially when they got as many good receivers and defensive backs and linebackers and stuff and running backs and all sorts of positions. It's tough to make that top 100 as an O-lineman, but here's 10 guys that I think could potentially make that list for 2023. At number 10, Ace Bostic. Ace Bostic is huge, man. He's either a 3 or 4 year starter. He's played for a long time down there in Van. Really big body, strong hands, really big punch from the get-go, can move guys with ease. Don't know, what he would do against the bigger competition. The competition isn't really that high on his highlight tape. But he's doing what he's supposed to do to the type of defenders that he's playing. Bostic's been around for a while, graded out at like 87 last year. I think a really good football player and a guy that is potentially a top 100 guy. At number 9, another guy that's been around for a while. He's getting ready to start for his 3rd year. Is Tavion Morgan from Longview. Really savvy football player, quick, has a punch to him. Initial surge is there. All those things that you need to be a really good offensive lineman. You got to win in those. It ain't about how strong you are and how much you bench press the squat. It's about how much ass can you kick in 0.2 seconds. How quickly can you get on somebody, and how quickly can you form a running lane. And Tate's been doing that for a while. He's getting ready to be a senior, smart, savvy football player. Should lead a really strong offensive line in Longview coming up in 2023. And number 8, Caleb Packelman, the Oklahoma State commit. Size is what you see from him right away, 6'5", 280. Doesn't have a whole lot of pop. You're going to see a guy that's on this O-line a little bit later on this list that does have a lot of pop. But that's his junior year. There's a lot of things that happen. A lot of people change the most between the junior and the senior year. So athletically, with the scholarship and the commitment, a lot of that is motivation to continue to get better. I think he's going to take big steps in 2023. And like I said, potentially be in the top 100. At number 7, Jacoby Watts. My dog out of Longview, started. This is his 3rd year on varsity, 2nd year getting ready to start. He is a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. He's played both guard spots for us. He's played tackle in the past, can snap a football. Just one of those extremely smart guys. Not extremely strong, but really quick, really good athlete. And really understands leverage and really understands football and how to be in between him and the ball, and making sure that he can conceal his block and let the running back get through him. He's a really good football player, man. He's not, like I said, he's not one of those guys that's going to win a weight room battle. He's not a weight room warrior by any means, but he's a flexible and plays with extremely good technique, and he's the reason why we have a lot of success in the run game at Longview. At number 6, Braden Nelson, a big mammoth of an individual. Really took off and really caught my eye at the East Texas Combine. Was the best pass blocker there. Really athletic, great kick, long arms, had a great punch. Really a Division I type of player. When you watch him pass set, probably a guard on the next level. His hands in the run game weren't too good last year. I didn't like how he placed his hands. I thought they were a little slow. He was more body than hands last year. But I think, just watching him at the East Texas Combine, he has improved from last season, and he's a guy that is a potential top 100 player on this year. At number 5, Caden Allen, a guy that just barely missed a cut last year. He is just dynamic as an offensive lineman. He's a really good athlete. Probably shouldn't be an O-lineman. Probably wouldn't be anywhere else. But he's really fast as an offensive lineman. He's really quick. He has a big punch. He's explosive. He hits. He's really throwback. Like he would have fit in perfectly in what we did in Longview back in 08, 09. He could have played right next to me for sure. But this dude is a really good athlete. He doesn't struggle in pass protection because they don't throw it that much. And so when they do, you know, the defender is always thinking somebody's really, when you play Pleasant Grove, you think you're either going to get a down block or a double team on every play. And so when they take pass sets, it kind of throws the defense off, and that really helps them in their pass protection as well. But Caden Allen is a beast and a guy that I expect to make the top 100 this year. At number 4, Cash Courtney, the sophomore who came in at number 75 on the list last year. Was really impressed with his posture, and I was really impressed with his hand placement and just how he looked and how balanced he was in his stance and how balanced he was when he was blocking, whether it was run blocking or pass blocking. You know, a bad habit for high school offensive linemen is to lean, whether it be leaning forward, and either in the run game or the pass game. And these are guys that, you know, he plays upright, and you can tell he's well coached on that, and he takes his technique to heart. A really good football player. I'm expecting a lot out of Cash Courtney, possibly a top 50 selection this year. In the top 100. At number 3 on the list is Dylan Drummond, a guy that I think he was 74 on the list, 74th on the list last year. A guy that didn't make it a sophomore year, but was on the cusp of making it. He plays with his hair on fire. He plays with a lot of want, a lot of desire. You can tell that the game is important to him. The most improvements that he's made is in his weight. He looked like he was about 230 as a sophomore. Comes back. Looks like he gained another 20, 30 pounds for his junior year, and there's no telling what he looks like going into next year now. But Dylan Drummond is a finisher up front, and he's going into his senior year. They're replacing Kevion Huddleston. He's a senior leader on both the O-line and D-line out there at Chapel Hill. I think Drummond's going to take that role easily, and I think he's going to continue to be dominant like he has been in the last 2 seasons he's played. And number 2 is Jose Suarez. Jose Suarez is a really good football player, man. Jose can do it. He's big. He only played 3 games last year. Broke his fibula. So with that, and that motivating factor of missing a lot of tape, I think he's going to try to put on a show his senior year. Really impressive sophomore tape. He made the top 100, I think, at like 92 as a sophomore. So this is a guy that I believe in. I think he's a good football player, and I think he's going to have a major bounce back season for his senior year. And then number 1 is the Alabama commit, Casey Poe. You look at him and you see the length. He's 6'4", 6'5", really long arms. He's has a kind of a slim build. He's a big guy, but he's got like a slim build. Looks like he's about 280. Can easily be 320, 330. Projects as an interior offensive lineman, but he's tackle out here in Lindale. The dude can play, man. He's an absolutely good, just tremendous football player. Great ball get off, great hand placement, nasty, all those things that makes a really good offensive lineman. I said it when I saw him as a sophomore. I think he's a future pro, and him going to Alabama just kind of cements that thought in my mind. I think he's going to go and do wondrous things, not only for Alabama, but in his senior year here at Lindale. So really excited about this batch of offensive linemen, ready to see, who was going to emerge as a guy that I don't know, but just ready to watch it all, man. I'm really excited. Football is right around the corner, man. In about a month, we're going to be watching football games and watching scrimmages and things like that. And so just a really fun and exciting time. And shout out to a little love to a position that doesn't really is appreciated like they should be, unless they miss a block and then they're the worst in the world. Anyway, that is the top 10 preseason offensive linemen. D-line coming out next week, and then we'll finish the series off with the quarterback position when everybody loves so much. So in the words of Stephen A.